All right, welcome to side 2 of the Sunday Morning Hangover. I am your host, the Reverend Marc Time. And in the studio, we have members of the Eugene Storefront Art Project. Let's go around the room and say hi to everybody. We have over here on my left, Peter Herley. Say hi.
Good morning, KWVA listening people out there in all of Eugene, Oregon and beyond.
And we have on my right here, Paula Goodbar. Say hi, Paula.
Hello.
And we have also on the other side of the room, Marc Gunther from the Eugene Storefront Art Project. Say hi, Marc. Hi, everybody. So this is cool. This is like, what a year the Eugene Storefront Art Project has had. Anybody want to talk about our first birthday or anything like that?
Well, absolutely. It's been an incredible year. We started out like many art groups, many advocacy groups, sitting around a cafe table, and we took it from there.
Yeah,
and it's been an incredible year.
Now, the genesis of the idea, well, a lot of people have been doing storefront art around the country, and actually Eugene has sort of a history of storefront art from many years ago. But the genesis of the Eugene Storefront Art Project really started with some frustration from you, Paula, last November, if you want to tell that story.
Absolutely. It was a dark and dreary Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and I was trying to do a photo fest down at the New Zone on Broadway, West Broadway, and had put out publicity on it, and I didn't have anybody come in 3 days' time. Went outside, looked down the street to see where the people were, if they were shopping down at the other end of Broadway, and there wasn't a soul to be found on that street for 3 long, long days. And that's when I realized that Eugene did indeed have a problem with their downtown. So I blogged about it and put it out there that maybe we should start looking at putting art in vacant storefronts, or possibly having low rent for artists or free rent for people that could come in and open up a shop, a pop-up shop, and get some kind of business going down there.
And that was back in November 30th, 2009.
Right.
Seems like a million years ago right now.
Yeah, it does.
And so Marc Gunther, what happened after that? Well, in January of 2010, I was downtown just taking pictures runs, and I was taking a picture of the Beam Building on the corner of Broadway and Willamette, and some guy ran up to me, and he goes, "Are you going to do something about this?" And I'm like, well, I went home and put it out on Facebook. I said, "Hey, why doesn't somebody form a group to, do something with empty buildings?" Mayor Kitty Piercy responded to me saying, "What about you?" And I said, "Well, I guess I'm on the hot seat now." So Peter Herley is the glue that kind of got the three of us together. Peter said, I had this conversation with Peter, and Peter basically introduced me, Marc, to Paula. And you guys went to this art meeting. What was that meeting exactly that you guys were kind of disappointed with? It was, the City of Eugene Public Art Draft Master Plan.
Yeah, we went to that, and
that was in January of last year.
Yes, we went to that at the downtown at Diva, and we walked away like this is not a plan at all. And that's, Paula and I were...
Now, how much money did they spend on that plan, getting the people in Portland to put that plan together? Was it $250,000?
From what I understand, it was an astronomical amount.
Yeah, it would have been cool if the $250,000 had stayed in Eugene. But this is Marc Gunther talking, by the way, not Marc Time. And so, anyways, Marc Gunther decided he was going to test the waters with a Facebook group, started a Facebook group, and when was it we met? Our first ESAP meeting at the Beanery on the 12th of January last year. So what is today, by the way?
Today's the 14th, 15th. Today's the 16th.
Yeah. So that was just about a year ago, right, Paula?
Yeah.
Just about a year ago.
Yeah. So it was a pretty exciting meeting because I remember the three of us plotting and scheming. And, basically one of us said, let's get out there and do something, and then we'll worry about all the bureaucratic stuff later.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was important just to get something started instead of just talking about it.
Yeah, and see, a lot of people will talk. There's a lot of committees and a lot of meetings in this town, but really, what they end up doing is agree to meet a next time rather than agreeing to meet or do something, actually go out and do something. That's what was frustrating to us. The three members of the Eugene Storefront Art Project, Peter, Paula, and Marc, come from activist backgrounds of actually getting out and doing stuff. You know, I'm looking at our history here, and I notice our first installations really didn't take place till March.
Yes, it took approximately 2 months before we were able to secure storefronts. We were knocking our heads up against the wall, going to different realtors, and we finally found one that was interested, and that was an exciting day.
Yeah, and kudos and a thank you to Eric and Kristen from Pacific Real Estate Services, because without them, we never would have had our first few installations. How many installations do you think we've done, Paula?
10,529.
It does feel like that at times.
Now, you might walk around Eugene, you might say, well, I only see about 10, 15 installations. But what you have to realize is we have rotated art out of these installations a few times, like 2, 3, 4 times,
right,
and kept it exciting. We also have put many, many installations out in Springfield along Main Street, and that really, to me, was one of the highlights of last year, was our group creating the Springfield Art Walk. Anybody want to talk about what happened at the Art Walk the other night?
Well, we had an incredible night. Besides myself and Tony Brown, who have a show at 228 Main Street. And just to let you know, if anybody missed the opening, they can go to 228 Main, which is the Riverside Community Church, from 2 to 5, Monday through Friday, and check that show out. It's an interpretation of the cross, and it's a wonderful show. But then also, down the street, there is Aaron Even, that has an incredible installation on, is it 409?
329.
329 Main Street. And the installations there have been really something else. With some of our storefronts, we're able to curate the installations, and some of them that the building manager or the building owner picks out the work.
Hey, Marc Gunther, why don't you describe how the whole process works? Well, sure, Marc, I'll do that for you. What it is, okay, first of all, you might think it's really easy just putting art in an empty storefront, but there's a lot that goes into it. And the three of us have broken down our duties so that it's kind of down to a science. What I will do is I will contact property owners and say to them, hey, we notice you have an empty property. If we put art in your property, people will notice the property more. You might be able to get a rental out of it, which is exactly what happened in Junction City this year. So, are you interested in looking at some art? And they say yes. That's where Paula steps in. Paula is really the artist liaison of the group and really doing a lot of the hard behind-the-scenes work in gathering the art, putting it in books, showing it to realtors, and getting approval on art. Once the realtors picks out some art, then we set up a date, contact the artist, and the artist will come in and set up the installation under our supervision. And you would think that, wow, we're bringing art to the streets. We're bringing art downtown. We're trying to bring commerce downtown, and we have no money. Basically, we are totally broke as a group. We're operating on funds from a Lane County Lane Arts Council grant, and membership and donations is what kind of fuels the fire. We are not associated with any city groups or any Springfield City or Eugene City. We are a grassroots group, and that's why I think Eugene Storefront Art Project really should be supported.